All right, so what are the problems that brought you into the office in the first place?
Well, I got tired of going to all these doctors, and for the last 3 years, I've been having this neck and back pain for the lower back has been a good 20 years, and my upper neck, it happened about 3.5 years ago when I hit the top of my head really hard on a beam. And then I started noticing that my neck started popping and cracking, and I got all this soreness back here. And going to the regular doctors, they took all the x-rays and MRIs and said, yeah, you got, and they tried to tell me that it's something I've happened over the years. Well, being a finished carpenter, yeah, I was lifting heavy stuff all my life, and I wore out my parts the way I see it. But this upper neck was really bothering me really bad. I wasn't getting any sleep at night. You know, 4 or 5 hours waking up, and 30 minutes later, finally getting mad and getting out of bed. And then, so when I heard about this spinal decompression, I started looking into it, saying I went to chiropractor. I went to my boss's chiropractor about 2.5 years ago, made 5 visits to him and watched him pop and tweak and crunch on me, and it wasn't getting anything any better. So I was just wasting my money over there. And I'm not saying that they're bad people. They just got their own place and time for certain injuries, I'd have to say, you know, but it wasn't for me. And I never was a big believer in them, but I thought I'd give them a try. And then basically I gave up to about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, and I decided that I got to do something because it's getting out of control. And when the doctors told me there's not much they can do besides surgery, and I said, I don't want no surgery. And they said, well, you know, that's basically all they could tell me. That's all there was. So then I was on Facebook where I saw you guys and read about it and was watching it, and then went online and checked out your DRX 9000 machine and went, that's pretty impressive. And so came in and started talking to you guys, and you told me that you think you could help my neck. And I was absolutely surprised. I was not a 100% believer until I started doing the treatments. And the minerals and vitamins you give me, and like you said, the hardest part, drinking all that water. That's the hardest part, but it only takes about a week, and then you get used to drinking all that water. And I noticed first, I'd say 7, 8 visits, it was helping, and then you know, it kind of paused and didn't really do anything. And then you guys increased the pull on my neck, and I noticed immediately that it was starting to help. Whether it's letting more minerals and water in there to rebuild the disc or regenerate everything. And then when I got to my max pull in the last 2 weeks, my pain went from an 8.9 down to a 0.1, which is right now. I got movement in my head, my neck, no problems, no cracking and popping. So you guys made a believer out of me. And outside of just going around and telling everybody they need to check into it, not saying it's going to work for everybody, but if they're like me down to the last end and didn't have any other choice, they really need to come and see what this is all about, because it really helped me 100% on my upper back.
What made you follow our recommendations? So when you came in, we sat down, we did an evaluation, we talked to you, we gave you recommendations. What was it about? What made you decide, okay, you know what, I'm gonna trust in what he's saying and follow what he has to say?
Well, that's just it. When you told me, basically, like I said, I was at the wit's end of trying to get anything done, and I wasn't going to do surgery. And talked to my wife about this, and I said, okay, well, you know, we'll just bite the bullet and we'll do it, and we'll see how that's really going to help. And I wasn't sure how well it was going to help, but it's amazing. And but after listening to what you guys had to say and seeing what your machines actually can do, I figured, well, it can't hurt, but at least you can. It's like it pulls on the area that needs to be worked on, instead of a doctor trying to stretch you and pop you and all that. But I do believe it has to be the minerals and vitamins that we take with this to help get in there with the water, to get in there to rebuild the disc back up, and so I just took a chance and said, well, don't have any other ways of doing this besides getting surgery, and I wasn't going to do surgery at 68 years old. So.
And what are the biggest things now that you see that have improved? How's your life changed?
Oh, outside of, I also had a kind of like a sciatic nerve. It went all the way to the bottom of my foot on my left leg, and then the bottom of my heel. It was like I stepped on a hot stone. It got to where I'd have to walk on the ball of my foot. It is now completely gone. That is the first thing I noticed disappearing right away when we started. Second of all, now I get sleep at night. You know, I still only get 6-7 hours, but it's all straight 6-7 hours. And don't wake up with the headaches as much. And I got free movement in my neck. I don't hear much popping or cracking or anything all day long, where before I used to sound like a cheese grater back there just popping away. Okay. And so...
What would you tell people who are considering our care, or people that have come in that didn't start care? What would you tell them?
Well, basically, as a non-believer to begin with, I'd tell them you just have to trust you and just try it. I mean, like I said, I wasn't a 100% believer in the beginning, but you just have to do it. And what the machine does, like I said, especially, you know, if it can pull in different parts of the back from the lower all the way to the top of your neck, then it definitely works. But instead of trying to do surgery or keep going to a chiropractor that kind of pops you around and pulls and pushes on you and tells you they're aligning this and aligning this and aligning this, well, everything, I don't think mine wasn't out of line. I had almost vertebrae on vertebrae and very few little discs in between the two, and by you pulling it back apart and letting it grow back in there, I believe that's one of the biggest things I tell everybody, that if you got bone on bone, and then it's gonna regenerate it.
How much younger do you feel now?
Well, I'm a good-looking 68-year-old anyhow, but nobody believes that I'm that old anyhow.
But do you feel younger? Do you feel like you're able to do more stuff now than you could before?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I'm not going to go back out and start hanging doors and doing trimmer work again. I retired from that. I'm done.
Right.
But you know, I can do things around the house a little bit easier, and my knees is the only thing I have a problem with. But I wore those things out. And I would say, yeah, I feel great percentage of energy back, and I can, you know, feel like I could do something if I had to, but I'm not going to overdo it again.
Anything else that you'd like to share with people?
Basically, you can call me, talk to me, and come and see me. I'll tell you anything you want, but you just gotta come in and try it. And think I talked to you about it. Even people that's already had back surgery can come in here, and you guys can also help regenerate parts of that and help them. And I got a friend that I told him about it, and his wife, I guess she goes to a chiropractor and that little machine where you guys zap them up and down their spinal cord with the thing. She wants to come over and talk to you and check you guys out and see how you are. And then Jimbo, he's had back surgery, and 2 of them in 25 years, and he does okay, but he needs to come in and see if you guys can't help him a little bit, you know. But like I said, even people that's had surgery on their backs or not, they got to come in here if they still are in a lot of pain. I think these machines and what your technique you guys have really works. I'm living proof.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.